the Razer Toaster, real or joke, and more, coming up on today's episode of the latest in tech news. Hey Gadgeteer, welcome to the latest episode of the world's only 3-in-1 show on tech, gadgets, and gaming news. That's right, this is the latest in tech news. My name is Taylor Merrick, and obviously our feature story will be looking at the Razer Toaster, real or not. We'll also be looking at, do we actually need a digital assistant, or should we just do it yourself? We'll be looking at the Note 10, maybe better than the Galaxy Fold and the problems that it's been having. We'll also be looking at another Kickstarter, the Viso 360, the first 4K 360 smart dash cam. We'll also be looking at Xbox's new code of conduct, which I gotta say is going to be hilarious when we get into it. We'll also be looking at Microsoft Solitaire finally getting honored in the Video Game Hall of Fame. And finally, we'll be looking at some information for Borderlands 3. But first, just want to let everybody know, in case you didn't know already, our Kickstarter project is currently live right now, and we need your support. Support us with any amount, and depending on the amount that you support us with, you get some exclusive perks to go along with it, up to and including t-shirt, color-changing mug, stickers, you name it, we got it. Well, okay, not everything, but I think you'll enjoy it. If you want more information on that and to support us, you have until May 31st to do that. Simply go to technewsgadget.net/Kickstarter to learn more about it and to make your pledge today. Thank you so much for those of you who do. You mean a lot to us, and we wouldn't be here doing this show if you weren't watching. So, with that out of the way, let's head on over to our show segments. Okay, it's not trivia. And one thing I forgot to do, I keep looking at it, and you're like, Taylor, just change the stupid thing already. I know. I'm getting all choked up about it. Stop reminding me about it. But I have to go talk to my graphic designer about redoing the whole thing. I have to spend some time doing that, and I keep forgetting to do that because my day comprises of me sleeping to start, and then waking up at the butt crack of dawn and going off to work for 8 hours. In case you guys didn't know, this is not my full-time job. I have a full-time job. I do this on the side. I would love to be able to do this full-time. I have so many ideas that I could take this. One of which, hopefully I could tease to you soon enough. Not now, but I do this on the side, so obviously when I get home, my mind's running through everything that I should be doing, and then I have a family to take care of, a wife and a baby, and whatever might be going on for that day, along with any events that we might have or not have going on. So yeah, I have a very full plate, as you can tell. So obviously if a couple of things fall through the crack, now you know. And I go back to sleep after all this is said and done, and I wake up the next day. And anyways, to get back on topic, did you know is our segment. And did you know that in January 2007, the PS3 DualShock controller won an Emmy Award? They did. They won for Peripheral Development and Technological Impact of Video Game Controllers by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Yes, you can say the PS3 DualShock controller has won an Emmy. And also, did you know that in 2004, the @ symbol used in emails, that little @ became the first new character to be added to Morse code in several decades. The new character, known as the comma, consists of the signals for both A, which is a dot dash, and C, dash dot dash dot, with no space or break in between. So in case you're like, hey, I know Morse code, well, now you know. Yep, you can add that to Morse code and have fun with that. Moving right along, today in tech history, being that today is May 2nd, 2019, on this day in 1983, Microsoft introduces a 2-button mouse. Microsoft Corp announced a new 2-button Microsoft mouse, which it introduced to go along with its new Microsoft Word processor. Microsoft built about 100,000 of these guys, fairly primitive units, for use with IBM and IBM-compatible personal computers, but sold only 5,000 of them before finding success in a 1985 version that featured, among other improvements, near-silent operation on all surfaces. And thank goodness we finally had a mouse, because you can only go so far with the keyboard before you smash into smithereens. So, with that out of the way, let's get on into today's feature story. Alright, for those of you wondering, and you're probably reading it right on the screen right now if you're watching a video version of this, yes, it's true. Razer is actually going to make a toaster now. No joke. It's not April 1st, it's May 2nd, so if you guys are like, hey, this is a late for an April Fool's Day joke, or hey, I'm listening to this on April 1st, ha, joke's on you, sucker. Well, sorry, it's not a joke, it's actually happening. By the way, if you want to get access to this article and all the other articles that we talk about today, head on over to technewsgadget.net/108 to get the show notes. Or if you're listening in the podcast app, however you get more information, tap, swipe, and you should be able to just get the full article links, tap on them, load them up. You should be good to go. So, Razer, the company behind the impressive Razer Blade laptops. By the way, how many of you guys have one of them? Raise your hand if you do. I'm raising my hand for an example. I wish I did. I look at them and I drool. Like, compared to Alienware, ooh, really hard toss-up as to what laptop I want. But they're making a toaster. Though this may not be the first time you've heard this news, this time it appears to be happening for real. It may have started as a joke, but Razer has been backed into a corner by fans pleading for a Razer branded toaster. Now the company's CEO has announced that it will begin working on a Razer toaster, according to CNET. The Razer toaster joke had been going on for years. Starting back in 2013, it was furthered along by a Facebook group fervently requesting that Razer actually come out with the product. And in 2016, Razer added fuel to the fire with its Project Breadwinner April Fool's Day prank, which showed off a very Razer-esque design, Razer logo emblazoned, slices of toast, and LED lighting, of course. So, after the initial joke, which was a tweet at Tan about making a Razer toaster, a Razer fan named Mark Withers created a Facebook page and applied pressure to Tan about the prospect of the toaster. Tan relented and said the company would make the toaster if Withers, the Facebook page creator, could get 1 million likes on the Facebook page. The page has yet to hit 1 million likes, but has surpassed 40,000 and saw 12 fans brandishing tattoos for the toaster, so Tan officially liked the page himself and had this to say on Facebook. Alright, I didn't think these guys were going to make it, but they did. It was to hit 1 million likes, and with each Razer tattoo toaster being equivalent to 100k likes each, well, they now have 12 Razer toaster tattoos. Well, what can I say? I've just officially liked their page, and I'm going to put together my team of designers and engineers. It will take a few years, but I'll be sure to share the progress and make it a community affair. And then he ends it with a Razer toaster for Razer toaster lovers by Razer toaster lovers. So, maybe the company isn't kidding this time around. Next question, what about Razer Household? Well, that's another Facebook group dedicated to even more Razer-branded household appliances. So far, the CEO has this to say, guys, I don't know what you guys are up to, but this isn't going to happen, ever. And he left a period on the end of that statement, so I think that's set in stone. There were no extra periods afterwards. So, what do you think? Toaster? Excited? Not really? You wish it would do like the whole branded stamp with the Razer logo on that piece of toast and it pops out? I don't know. Interesting. Well, we have a few years to think about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Moving right along to some more tech news. Does asking Alexa actually save time? An investigation. See, digital assistants like Alexa, Google Assistant, and Siri don't remind me about Siri. Half the time I'm ready to snap this stupid phone in half because I can look for whatever I'm looking for faster by typing than by saying it. Siri's still a long way off. Are easier to use than ever. Not only are they built into smart speakers, these days you can access them via your phone, TVs, and even your smartwatch. But is using a digital assistant faster than figuring something out for yourself? To figure this out, we teamed up with Lifehacker to pit human against AI across a series of tasks, such as setting timers, answering basic questions, and checking the weather. While Lifehacker's Abu Zafar relied on just his wits and smartphone, I depended on Amazon Alexa to do all my dirty work. Well, the results? It depends. Alexa can be a bit verbose when it comes to things like reading the news, and sometimes you can save a few seconds just by whipping out your phone or using common sense. Other times, Alexa was a speedy alternative, especially if you want to multitask or need to keep your hands free. In either case, it mostly depends on how lazy you're feeling versus how quickly you need something done. Me, I don't mind waiting. And me being the author of this article, which is Victoria Song. So, what do you think? Do you think you're actually saving time using your smart assistant? I don't know. To me, I feel personally, I can look stuff up faster than asking a computer about it, just because I know exactly what to type into the search box, or what exactly I'm looking for, or how to format it in a way where I can find the results that I want really quick and get to the bottom of it really quick. So, yes, okay, if I want to save a few seconds, it almost reminds me of, hey, if I just decide to go 80 miles an hour instead of 60 like everybody else is going on a freeway, am I actually going to get to my destination faster? Yes, but only by a couple more seconds, and you're actually kind of an idiot for doing 60 or 80 on a 60-mile-an-hour freeway, simply because, well, let's see, you're endangering the public, you can get into an accident, let's see, takes longer time to brake, therefore increasing probability for you to not be paying enough attention to be able to react in appropriate timing, because traffic was only built to be going 60, 65 down the freeway, not 80. So, remains to be seen, but I digress. That could change depending on how smart this smart assistant stuff actually gets. Alfred, next slide. All right, got some gadget news for you guys. After the Galaxy Fold problems, the Note 10 may be the hero phone that we all needed. So, by all rights, the Galaxy Fold should be the pinnacle of Samsung's 6th Galaxy phone this year, but with its foldable design and bendable screen, but currently out of commission for malfunctioning screens and been delayed for the time being. It could be the rumored Note 10 that saves Samsung's reputation this year by keeping what we love about that Galaxy S10 phones while fixing what we don't. The Note is usually the height of Samsung's smartphone efforts, but 2019 was supposed to be different, with the Note 10 taking a backseat to this $2,000 Fold as this year's splurge device. But with the Galaxy Fold undergoing scrutiny as Samsung gets to the bottom of issues that could affect at least 5 review units, it's the Note 10 that could put Samsung back on the right track amidst a flurry of phone releases. You might ask where the Galaxy S10 5G falls into all of this. Well, the 5G version of their phone arrives in Verizon on May 16th for $1,300 before heading to other carriers. It's already made headlines with one battery issue in South Korea that I covered on a couple show episodes prior. Yet, not really major Note 10 competition. Expensive, it doesn't have a stylus, and will only be as fast as the 5G network it's riding on. The other extras, a larger screen and battery and depth sensing cameras on the front and back, don't do much yet to justify the price. Note fans, however, have long been cited as Samsung as being the most loyal, the power users who crave maximal storage space and flexibility through the S Pen. While the Galaxy Note 10 lacks the Fold's really nice curve appeal, it should have everything that S10 5G has and more, including plenty of competition from Apple's next iPhone and phones like the OnePlus 7 Pro. See, what they fixed? Well, they fixed the screen eyeball notch, and they deliver a secure 3D face unlock option, and, well, a real standalone night mode camera, those being the top 3 or 4. So, if you're looking for a phone, I guess you want to splurge on, that might be one that you might want to look to, or just wait a little bit until the smartphone market solves whatever this 5G hang-up is going on, and we actually have a valid base to compare phones amongst each other and see which one performs better, see which carrier does better, see which manufacturer, Samsung, Apple, Google does better, and then buy it based on the needs and preferences that you want, not necessarily what they provide. But if they happen to line up, great job, good for you. It's called you're doing bargain hunting and comparison shopping to get the best deal for your money so you don't get ripped off. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I had to explain that. All right, moving on to some Kickstarter news. We're looking at the Viso 360, the first 4K 360 smart dash cam. Now, obviously, they've reached their goal already. They have a couple days to go. They have like almost 2,500 backers at this point. Goal is to be reached by Saturday, May 4th. It's quite impressive. It's the world's smartest 360 dash cam. See, Viso 360 is a dual-lens 4K dash cam which records all around your car in 360. Built-in AI detects if you're falling asleep behind the wheel and alerts you to stay awake. Add in 4G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and a mobile app, and the Viso 360 is truly the smartest dash cam on the market today. And they have some photos and videos that go along with it. I'll have the link in the show notes so that you guys can go take a look at it. Seems like a very interesting product, finally one that could actually make the most sense. 360. And, well, I'm just going to let you know up front that I was not paid or endorsed by this company to go review or talk about this product. I really like visiting Kickstarter because I feel like fairly often really new technological advances or new products and gadgets that we haven't seen or games can really stand out here. So I kind of like to go to Kickstarter from time to time. So it looks like they have loop video recording that goes along with it, a parking mode option, crime deterrent LED lighting, precise mount adjustment, social sharing, standard 360 camera features, and mobile app control. It's been featured all over the place. And apparently, it's better than espresso. Never worry about nodding off at the wheel again. Through the use of artificial intelligence algorithms, Viso 360 AI scans the driver's face for telltale signs of drowsiness. At the faintest hint of Mr. Sandman's arrival, Viso 360 rings an alarm and alerts the driver to wake up. And I don't know exactly how the alarm goes, but it's going to be a doozy to wake you up when you're driving. If that's the case, just pull over and find a hotel or just wait till you get over it. So it's actually quite interesting. There are no blind spots in its entire camera. It has a dual lens camera recording super high def 4K video in 360 degrees. Perfectly captured the entire view out your windshield, at your blind spots, and everything that's happening behind you. Auto accident detection feature records collisions in crystal clear quality, which automatically gets saved and locked in a micro SD card. The footage cannot be overwritten until you extract it using the Viso mobile app. So all very, very impressive. It has HDR that goes along with it. You're always connected with Wi-Fi connectivity. It just goes on and explains more information about it. So like I said before, I'll have the link. So if you guys want to take a look, you want to pledge your support. By the way, if you do, you only have a couple more days to do it. Outside of that, they'll probably be going into production for a couple of months. Looks like estimated delivery, all of this will be coming out September, November-ish. So, well, actually, it looks like, when we're looking here really quick, I think most of all the backers have been locked in. Where has it? Fairly often. So not much time left. So if you're listening to this the next day, you probably have one more day left. And if it's after May 4th, then obviously you're out of time. All right, moving on to some gaming news. Xbox new code of conduct. I love it. So they have a new code of conduct that translates existing legalese into online trash talk. An apparently new page at the Xbox official website dubbed Community Standards for Xbox. It was recently unearthed by members of the Reset Era gaming forums. The page appears to be the first of its kind from a console online gaming provider as it translates the legalese of Microsoft's existing services agreement to straight up leet speak. Wow, that's been a while since I read that. The page, which has yet to see a signal boost from Xbox representatives like Phil Spencer or Larry Herb, goes into detail about 10 major points in Microsoft's service agreement. The form you must scroll through and click accept on when creating any Xbox or Microsoft account. And obviously, we probably don't read it. These 10 points have been rephrased slightly to better reflect on Xbox use case and are followed by examples of hypothetical activities, including smack talk. The most notable section may be the Keep Your Content Clean category. In Microsoft's official agreement, this is described as follows. Don't publicly display or use the service to share inappropriate content or material that are obviously against their standards. The Xbox Community Standards page breaks this down into a few more discreetly defined categories, and one of these is titled, Know the Difference Between Trash Talk and Harassment. And this is, interestingly enough, just I'm thinking off the top of my head, where the League of Legends Tribunal could actually use some of this, although it's actually kind of hilarious. It includes an acknowledgement that a little trash talk is an expected part of competitive multiplayer action, then clarifies, but hate has no place here. A dictionary-like description of harassment offers examples such as negative behavior that's personalized, disruptive, or likely to make someone feel unwelcome or unsafe, and is written in and includes, but is not limited to kind of way. The standards page then offers 5 examples of acceptable in-game trash talk, which, well, seemingly plucked from a popular online gaming genre like FPS and racing, then later tweaks into an unacceptable version. So here's a nice list. So if you're playing on Xbox, or you're typing, or you're talking in your microphone, the nice list. You apparently can say, get destroyed, can't believe you thought you were on my level. You can also say, that was some serious potato aim, get wrecked. So Ninja can get away with saying that now. The only reason you went positive was you spent all game camping, try again, kid. Cheap win, come at me when you can actually drive without running cars off the road. And then another one, final one, that sucked, get good, and then come back when your KD is over 1. And then the naughty list is obviously if you're using a threat, if you use a profanity, if you're threatening somebody to kill themselves, if you use a racial slur, and obviously, I guess the last one is you suck, get out of my country. Maybe they'll let you back in when your KD's over 1. That last one's actually kind of hilarious. So before you go fraying the messenger, yes, we know get wrecked is the standard online spelling of that phrase. I guess this is what you can and can't say. As the document is pretty long, not going to list it beat by beat other than to point out a few notable points in the document. They may not seem all that new to the terms of service veterans, but Xbox has listed them a bit more discreetly in this document. So just be warned. Let's see, what does this say? Update: shortly after this article went live, a Microsoft representative provided the following statement to Ars Technica. Community Standards for Xbox, which launched on April 30th, makes it easier to understand what kind of behavior is acceptable on Xbox Live and what is not, and how to positively contribute to the global Xbox community to ensure it is a safe, welcoming, and inclusive of everyone. The standards are not a new set of rules, but are a call to action that empowers every player to evaluate their behavior and adjust accordingly in order to be a force for good. So obviously, if you guys are just playing a game and you're having a bad day, don't take it out on your teammates and don't go start threatening individuals. But if you are playing and you're having fun, you can get into it to a certain degree. Just don't go too far. Okay? Okay. Moving on to some more tech news, Microsoft Solitaire is finally getting honored in the in the Video Game Hall of Fame. And that's not the only one. It looks like the original Mortal Kombat is, along with Super Mario Kart. Now, it's hard to imagine a video game dominating more screen time than Microsoft Solitaire has since first introduced with Windows 3.0 in 1990. It's been the go-to distraction for procrastinators for almost 3 decades, and it's finally being honored with a rightful place in the World Video Game Hall of Fame. I'm wondering if Minesweeper is included in that. Today, the Strong's National Museum of Play officially announced all the 2019 World Video Game Hall of Fame inductees, and this year, Windows Solitaire is being joined by Super Mario Kart, Mortal Kombat, and the deepest cut, a 1976 text-based title called Colossal Cave Adventures, which paved the way for today's sprawling fantasy-based games. Mortal Kombat and Super Mario Kart both had tremendous influences on their respective categories as well. Racing games that focus on collecting items and fun weapons quickly became serious competition for traditional racing simulators that focused on realism, and Mortal Kombat not only paved the way for, well, I guess some violence to a degree in modern games, but was also partly responsible for the creation of the Entertainment Software Rating Board, ESRB, back in 1994, and a very interesting genre to go along with it, and justice to follow. Those kind of video games, along with, oh gosh, there's so many of those style video games. As for Windows Solitaire, Microsoft claims that some 35 billion Solitaire hands are dealt each year through the operating system, but numbers on how many players actually get to enjoy that hypnotic game-winning animation are unknown. So, in case you were wondering, who didn't make the cut this year? Unfortunately, fans of Half-Life, Asteroids, Dance Dance Revolution, Call of Duty, Miss Pac-Man, King's Quest, Metroid, and Minecraft will have to wait until 2020 until those shortlisted finalists get another shot at the Hall of Fame. So, congratulations, Solitaire. Waste my time, but at least you finally made it. Good on you. And our final tech article of today's more gaming article, Pitchford is promising a no free-to-play junk for Borderlands 3, but there will be cosmetic microtransactions and special edition boost mods. So yesterday's rollout of the first public gameplay footage for Borderlands 3 went about how you'd expect, with all the requisite guns, explosions, and colorful characters that have been standard for the series from the jump, but some confusingly worded comments about the game's post-launch monetization have required a bit of clarification from Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford and others in the company. So for those of you all excited about Borderlands 3, you might want to listen up. During yesterday's streamed presentation, Pitchford announced that we're going to do some cool campaign DLCs. I had to fill in a word there. And I'm sure we're going to do all kinds of fun customizations like heads and skins, but we're not doing any of that free-to-play junk. There's not going to be any microtransactions. There's not going to be any of that nonsense. That specific wording led Game Informer to tweet out an article clarifying that the cosmetic items Pitchford mentioned are indeed being sold via microtransactions. That means Pitchford's statements that there's not going to be any microtransactions isn't technically accurate. Game Informer's tweet in turn led Pitchford down an emotional 18-tweet rant about his words being twisted out of context. Our post-launch plans are in flux, but I made a commitment that Borderlands 3 would not pursue free-to-play style monetization, he wrote. There will be tons of cosmetic drops as free loot in Borderlands 3, he said in a follow-up Wednesday evening. Currently, there are no plans for any cosmetic DLC, but I anticipate there will be customer demand post-launch that we will be excited to meet, just as we did with additional optional cosmetic DLC for BL2. So, interestingly enough, well, we'll have to find out how that exactly pans out for all of you fans of Borderlands. I'm not reading this entire article, but you can get into the rest of it. I guess they'd be looking at XP boosts. Long story short, it sounds like Gearbox is committed to avoiding the worst excesses of randomized loot box purchases and free-to-play style skip the grind treadmill monetization, but despite some confusing statements, that doesn't mean that cosmetic microtransactions and paid boosts are completely absent from the game. They might just be in there, but it's more for the true fans, for the fans who want the option to be able to customize themselves and don't really mind paying a little bit more. I think they're past, for the most part, this era of microtransactions and this skip the grind treadmill type content. So we'll see how it actually works out. Hopefully these larger developers figure out what the heck they're doing, so that us players who play the game can enjoy the game. And if we want to pay a little bit more for some added perks, we won't really mind handing over that money. You see how it works? If you give me something of value, I don't mind paying you a bit more, but if it sucks, don't expect anything from me and don't charge me for it. Otherwise, I will find another game to entertain myself with, even if that is Fortnite. Speaking of which, what's going on with that volcano? Let me know down in the comment section down below. I don't know. People keep dropping loot and stuff into it and blowing the top off or trying to. I don't know. I guess that volcano is really heating up. I don't know. Well, and with that, that wraps up this episode of the latest in tech news. Thanks for tuning in, guys. New episodes every weekday. The latest in tech news can be found on every major platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, Overcast, and Facebook. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to let us know by clicking that like button down below and leaving a comment. Also, double check that you are subscribed so that you don't miss the next episode. I'm your host, Taylor American. Remember, for the latest in tech, gadgets, and gaming news, visit TechNewsGadget.net. Pretty much, keep being awesome, guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.